Hello YouTubers, this time I want you to join me to go explore a self-governing island that is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. It comprises of 18 rocky volcanic islands. This island is situated between Iceland and Norway. If you are lucky, you can spot puffins on the island. Welcome to Faroe Islands. During this trip, I spent 2 weeks exploring 7 different islands. In these videos, we will explore each one of them. So I put together a list of tips that I feel like they are really important, that really change the experience that you would have on the islands. So please take a screenshot and jot down all of these tips. The first island that we will be exploring is Vagar. This is where the airport is. So basically, right when you land, you are ready to explore this magical place. We will start from the northern part all the way to the southern part. So right after you land in Faroe Islands, you can just drive 20 minutes north of this island. You will come to this amazing lookout point for Múlafossur Waterfall. It is situated in a village that's called Gjogv. So just right above the village of Gjogv, there is an incredible sunset viewpoint where you can actually watch the sunset into the horizon. And also, if you are lucky, if you be there at the right place and at the right time, you might be greeted by an incredible guest called puffins. People are flying from all over the world to this amazing place just to be able to spot puffins in the wild. Just a couple minutes south from the viewpoint, there's actually another panoramic viewpoint in the village of Bøur with the view of the Drangarnir sea stack. With that said, we're gonna go there next. So to get to Drangarnir sea stack, you can either hike there or go on a boat. And with that said, to hike there, it takes about 4 hours out and back, and you also need a tour guide for it. However, for me, I feel like hiking there, it's the best way to really enjoy the beauty and soak it up, and also it's great for photography. And if any of you want to fly drones out there, just make sure to ask your tour guide and get their permission just to make sure that it is okay to fly it. Okay guys, so here we go. This is the place that really made me fall in love with Faroe Islands, and it's also the place where I saw the picture of it so many years ago. I have been wanting to go to Faroe Islands because of it, and this is Trælanípa. This is where you get that illusions of the lake floating into the ocean. To get there, you need to hike about 1 hour out and back, and also you need to pay a small fee at the entrance because it is in the private land. And guys, just spend as much time as you want there because it is going to be the highlight of your trip. And I actually went there twice myself, that's how much I love it. So the last place that we're going to talk about for this island, it's called Witch's Finger Trail. To get there is actually quite convenient if you were to stay in a hostel called Kellingin. So that hostel was actually the home base for me to explore this island. And with that said, it is just about 30 minutes hike from the hostel. Oh, another thing to note, this place is so beautiful for both sunrise and sunset. Okay guys, let's go explore the second island called Streymoy. This is where you will take the first tunnel to get to the island. It only gets charged on the return trip. And also this island, it's where the capital of Faroe Islands is. First, we will start with the northernmost village called Tjornuvik. This is a surfing town, and with that said, Tjornuvik is also known for this incredible hike that will connect this village to another village called Saksun. It is a long one, by the way, and from the village you get this beautiful view of the sea stack called Risin or Kellingin. So on the way back from Tjornuvik, just make sure to drop by the tallest waterfall in Faroe Islands called Fossá. It is right by the road, and if you really want to see the full height of the waterfalls, you might have to fly the drone. So afterward, we are going to go for a drive in this lovely rainy day, which is, totally on brand with Faroe Islands. It's very common. Or if you are nuts like me, I guess you can just hike there. Since this hike is actually really long and also it's just one way. Some people, they would actually arrange a ride either, in Saksun or Tjornuvik, so that way they don't have to do an out and back hike. However, for me, I was unlucky. I did both ways. I did it for about 4 hours. Alright guys, we made it after 4 hours to Saksun. This village, it's small, it's nice and charming, and also in this video, in that black sand beach, you can actually hike there also. Beautiful, as you can see behind me, and look at that waterfall. Okay, so afterward we're going to go for a boat tour for some bird watching in Vestmanna. However, on the way there, make sure to stop by the lookout spot over the village of Kvivik. It is incredibly beautiful. The boat tour in Vestmanna, it's really popular, especially in the seasons of puffins. With that said, if you can book ahead of time, you should go ahead. And on top of that, the actual boat ride itself can be bumpy, so be prepared.
I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. We got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks.
So as you come down to the southernmost part of the island, this is where the capital is, called Tórshavn. In Tórshavn, this is where I set out as my base accommodation for this island, because everywhere in the island it's about an hour drive. And I also put down places of interest, so if I were you, I would take a screenshot of it and then you can go through the list. If you drive about 20 minutes west of Tórshavn, you will come to the oldest village in Faroe Islands called Kirkjubøur. In this village, you will see the oldest turf house that is still operating and also the oldest cathedral in the island called Magnus. Okay, let's go to the next island called Eysturoy. And this island itself, most of the important sites that you would want to visit are in the northern part of it, really close to each other, and it's also the hiker's heaven. Alright, so first we're going to explore this beautiful village called Gjogv. It's actually one of the most beautiful villages in Faroe Islands. With that said, the village has this natural harbor that you can explore along with the hiking trail just to the left of the village. And also the village is known for the guest house that is serving lunch.
Coming in sandals.
The hike starts just to the left of the village and it will go up to the cliff to the highest point. And just don't be like me going in sandals. So just about 10 minutes drive from Gjogv, you will come to this trailhead called Gongutúrur. It is incredibly beautiful and it's also an easy hike, just about 60 minutes it goes in a triangle.
I'm on top of the world, guys.
At the top of the trail, you get to see the view of the Funningur village at the bottom and also the Kalsoy island, along with this hiking spot that we will go next, that is the highest spot in Faroe Islands. Okay guys, just a short drive from that hiking spot of Gongutúrur, you will come to the Slættaratindur Peak. With that said, this is a challenge for you guys, better be ready for it. This hike will take you to the tallest peak in Faroe Islands, and with that said, if it is rainy, please don't do it, it can be really dangerous. And once you're at the top, the weather can change in a matter of minutes, and that happened to me. Well, I'm glad I took some pictures before it changed. So for just a couple minutes of driving, you will come to this viewpoint for the sea stack called Risin or Kellingin. I mentioned about it before because you can also see it from the village called Tjornuvik earlier. I have probably mentioned the island called Kalsoy several times already early in these videos, but now we are going to get there. So this island itself is detached from the rest, so to get there you need to take a ferry. The ferry to Kalsoy Island is in the village called Klaksvik. So to get to Klaksvik, you will have to take the second tunnel in the Faroe Islands. With that said, show up early because there's a 20 cars limit. Just about 20 minutes on the ferry, you will arrive in Kalsoy Island. Once you arrive, you will drive all the way north of the island to start your hiking. But make sure to stop by the famous seal woman statue and also read about the folk tale behind the statue itself. It is actually quite a sad one. For about 20 minutes drive north of the statues, you will come to the famous hiking spot in the Kalsoy Island, actually one of the famous ones in the Faroe Islands. The hike itself starts from the village called Trælanípa, and with that said, the hike will take you to the Kalsoy lighthouse.
And so when you step on it, it's like a sponge. The water just like oozing out.
After your hike, make sure to come back to the ferry about at least an hour ahead of the schedule, because with that 20 cars limit, you might actually miss out when it's actually really busy. Once you get back to Klaksvik, I want to take you to one of my most favorite hikes in Faroe Islands, and this hike itself will take you to the top of the Klaksvik mountain. The trail itself is relatively easy. It is about 1.7 miles out and back. For some reason, this trail it is incredibly wet, even on a sunny day. With that said, once you reach the end of the trail, you will be greeted by this 360 view of heaven. Okay, let's go to the island that is located on the eastmost part of Faroe Islands that can be reached by driving. Alright. So the hiking in this island, for me, is actually the most challenging one of all the other hikes in Faroe Islands, and it is due to the elevation. The hike itself will take you to the top of the mountain called Fjall. The hike is about 2.9 miles. However, with that said, the elevation gain, that's why it's making it so tough. And even once you're at the top, the weather can change so drastic and it gets so rough up there. And I actually experienced it myself. It was quite unbearable, so I didn't stay there for too long. However, at the end, I felt so accomplished.
I did it, guys. Got all the way back down. Peace out.
Okay, if you are in Tórshavn, the capital, you can just take a 20-minute ferry ride to an island nearby called Nólsoy. Nólsoy is actually known for bird watching and also for this really long hike to the lighthouse. The hike to the lighthouse takes about 9 to 11 hours because it is, 16 kilometers. Honestly, for me, I don't think it's worth it. Okay, let's go to the final islands that we will explore in Faroe Islands, and it is called Suðuroy. And to me, to be honest, this is the hidden gem. I did a lot of research about Faroe Islands, but this one didn't come up a lot. But guys, trust me, it is truly an amazing place. Suðuroy, it's about 2 hours on a ferry from Tórshavn. The ferry itself, it's huge, it's like a cruise ship, and it will come to the terminal right across the largest village on the island called Vidoy. The way how we explore the islands, we will start with the southernmost all the way to the northern part of it. We will start with the lighthouse on the island. And you can just drive all the way up to the lighthouse itself. And like I said, the weather can change so much. So when I arrived, it was all foggy, but when I left, it was just magical. On the drive back from the lighthouse, I want to take you to this incredible place that for me, it is the true definition of a hidden gem. It's called Eysturoy. At the top, there is this Lorentz station that stands for a long-range navigation that was built during World War II by the US. For me, this lookout spot is truly one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen in my life. And next, I want to take you to this small fishing village called Tjornuvik. This village itself, it's known for their fishing of whales, and on top of that, they also have this original Faroe Islands flag that is still situated in the cathedral. Afterward, I want you guys to go join me for this beautiful hike on the island of Suðuroy at Amandastakkur. This hike itself will also take you to a beautiful cliff along the way and also to this hidden wooden bridge that is crossing a very deep gorge. The bridge itself can be quite hard to find, but if you were able to find it, you have to cross it at your own risk. After you hike down from the wooden bridge, and if you're not too scared yet, hike toward the cliff area and go get lost and absorbed by the sound, the sight, and the scent of the area. There's also another hidden harbor called Valbiredi that is not known to tourists at all and is quite beautiful. And actually I saw someone, a painter, who painted the scenery of that harbor. The last location that I am going to mention in this video doesn't even have a name. However, I did give you guys a coordinate in Google Maps. Go there and see it for yourself. Thank you so much guys for watching these videos. Faroe Islands is truly a magical place. I really encourage you to go out and explore.